big companies, these massive, complex organizations, there's always this huge question looming in the background. Where is the money really coming from? It sounds simple, but it's an incredibly tough puzzle to solve. And today, we're going to crack it wide open. I want you to think about this for a second. Every single company has that one division, right? The one that gets all the media buzz, all the cool headlines. But is it really the one pulling in the most profit? A lot of the time, the answer is a big, surprising no. And not knowing that, well, that can lead to some really bad decisions down the road. So here's the heart of the problem. A single company-wide profit and loss statement, it's kind of a blunt instrument. It just mashes everything together. The rockstar performers, the projects that are struggling, and everything in between. You see that one final number at the bottom, but you're totally blind to what's really going on underneath the surface. And that, right there, creates what I like to call the profitability puzzle. How in the world do you see the performance of each individual piece of the business clearly? Well, what if we just changed our perspective completely? Instead of looking at the company as this one giant block, what if you could analyze each division, each plant, maybe even each product line as if it were its own little company? This powerful idea actually has a name. It's called a profit center. And believe me, it is the key that unlocks true financial clarity, not just at the top, but at every single level of the organization. Okay, so what is it exactly? A profit center is basically a subunit of your company that's responsible for its own costs and its own revenues. It gets its own P&L statement, and you can even give it its own balance sheet. And that's really the best way to think about it. You're literally creating a set of smaller, distinct companies inside your main company, and each one has its own story to tell. Now, you might be thinking, okay, that sounds great, but how do you actually do that? Well, to make it happen, you need the right tools. And in a system like SAP S4HANA, there's a whole toolkit designed for exactly this kind of analysis. And it's not just one tool, but actually two that work together, hand in hand, to give you the complete picture of profitability, both from the inside and the outside. All right, this slide is super important because it shows the two sides of the same profitability coin. On the left, you've got profitability analysis, or COPA. Think of this as your telescope. It's looking out at the external market. This is for the board, for sales, for marketing. It answers questions like, which of our products are crushing it and where are they selling? Then on the right, you have profit center accounting, or PCA. This is your microscope. It's for looking inside the company. It's for the managers and controllers, answering questions like, is our manufacturing plant in Texas actually making any money? You see? Two different tools for two vital but very different points of view. Okay, so how does the system actually pull this off? I mean, how does it connect every single financial transaction to the right company within a company? Let's take a look. This really is the magic behind the curtain. I mean, think about it. Whether you buy a box of paper clips or sell a multi-million-dollar piece of machinery, how does the system know which profit center's ledger to put it on? Well, the answer is actually pretty elegant. You structure your entire company by assigning every single thing that can affect profit, and I mean everything, to a specific profit center. You do this once at the master data level. And the level of detail here is just incredible. We're talking materials, cost centers, individual sales orders, company assets. I mean, literally every item that has anything to do with profit and loss gets a tag. This is how the system makes sure that every single transaction automatically lands in exactly the right bucket, every single time. So when you put all of this together, what do you get? You get the ultimate financial X-ray of your business. You start seeing things you simply could not see before. And this is where the real light bulb moment happens. A division stops being just a cost center, a department that only spends money. Suddenly, because you can see its revenues and its assets, it becomes an investment center. And now you can ask the most important question of all. Not just how much did we spend, but what was the return on that investment? And that opens the floodgates to some incredibly powerful metrics for each individual business unit. You can calculate a true return on investment. You can analyze cash flow. You can see a full balance sheet for every single profit center. This is the kind of hard data that lets you reward your top performers and make those tough but necessary calls on the ones that are lagging behind. This quote from the source material just sums it all up perfectly. The entire internal flow of the company gets a total makeover. It's no longer just one department handing something off to another. No, Now it's a true economic exchange between two separate business units. This injects a level of clarity and accountability into the system that is just a total game changer. So I'll leave you with this thought to chew on. Just imagine if every single division, every product line, and every plant in your organization had its own detailed, transparent report card showing you exactly how it was performing. What hidden stars would you finally discover? And maybe more importantly, what tough decisions would you finally have the data to make?
Have you ever wondered how a massive global company with